Hi and welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Rachel and I blog at thislovelylittle.farmhouse.com, and I'm really happy to have you join me today. Today's video is a little bit different than normal. I usually have recipes, homesteading kind of things, sometimes things about kids, but today, because it's the beginning of a new year, I know we're 2 weeks in. Everybody might have abandoned all their New Year's resolutions already. But I wanted to give y'all some ideas for things that actually you could change in your life that would make a lasting impact and a huge impact if you implement some of them on your family. So today I have for you 22 goals, things that you can do for a happier and healthier home in 2022. Do you ever feel like your home and your house is just in this constant state of chaos, and that like everyone is just going in different directions all the time? Do you feel like your family lacks quality time and closeness? You don't have that. And you know, a lot of times, I know I can't be the only one that feels this way. Do you ever feel like your life is just this game of going through the motions, and then one day you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be old and you're gonna be at the end of your life and you're gonna think, what did I do with my life? Like, what did I do? What did I do the whole time? You just kind of were in this daze throughout your whole life, and then you get to the end of it and you wonder what you did with your life. So if you have any of those feelings, this is especially for you, because some of those are the things that I have felt that have led me to make some of these changes in, well, my husband and I, to make some of these changes in our family. And also the reason why there are some of them that I am doing this year as goals to implement. And even if you choose one, if you choose three, if you do, you know, even just one thing and you commit to doing it, even if every day you have to start over, even if every week you have to start over, that doesn't matter. The point is just to do the thing. Whether you have to start over every week or not, even if you only do it half the time, because you keep having to start over, that's way better than never doing it. So, all that being said, let's jump into these 22 things that can change your life, okay? I have lots of notes, so if I look like I'm reading some of it, that's why, because I don't want to forget anything important. Okay, so number one, this is a big conviction in my life right now. This is a big one that I'm doing this year, is put down the phone. It's sitting right here. As a culture, which I know it's not just the US, but we are so, as a society, attached and addicted to our smartphones. And they're almost always in our hand, always in our pocket. We're constantly checking to see if anybody's commented on our post, if we have any new emails, if we got any updates, and texting this person, calling that person. And we've gotten so addicted to that this is what the people in our life see. Not me. You don't see my face. You see the back of my phone. I don't want my kids growing up seeing the back of my phone. I don't want them to think that that's normal. I don't want them to think that that little device is more important than them. So it's a big thing for me. This is a big conviction and something that I'm really working hard on. I'm not perfect at it. I do still find myself on it when I shouldn't be. But it's a big goal for me and a very convicting thought to put my phone down and pay attention to what's really important. Because none of those things that's on there that I'm looking at are really important. It's just, it gives you this hit of dopamine. It makes you feel good, but it's really not what's important. So that's number one. Number two is exercise. And I know you probably hear this a lot. That's probably one of their big things is to exercise and lose weight. But I don't want you to think of it that way, because that's setting yourself up for failure, I believe. So start exercising. Even if it's only 10 minutes a day, do those 10 minutes. And if you do those 10 minutes every single day in a year, it will make a huge difference in your life. So as far as the mindset thing, if you've tried exercising and you always quit after a little while, try to change the way you think about exercising. And one of the things could be like, shift your mind, the reason you're exercising. Because if you're exercising to lose 10 pounds, to lose 20 pounds, whatever the case may be, and you start exercising and you exercise for a week, every single day, and you get on the scale every single day and the scale doesn't move, what's going to happen? You're going to say, oh, this doesn't work, and then you're going to quit. But instead, make the goal to be better than you were yesterday. Make your goal be to be strong, to be healthy, for your family, for yourself. So for me, that's my motivation, is I want to be strong. I want to be a strong grandma. So, number 3, drink more water. It might be kind of a really bold statement, but I'd be willing to bet that at least probably 80% of the people don't drink enough water. And water is so important for every function of your body, especially things like joints, cushioning for your joints, if you're pregnant, if you're nursing, but if you work outside and you sweat a lot. The recommended water intake is 125 ounces for men and 91 ounces for women. And that doesn't take into account things like working in the heat, exercising, breastfeeding, and all that. So 125 ounces, just to give you reference, 32 ounces is a quart. So that's a lot of water. I didn't realize that I was chronically dehydrated all the time until I started drinking a lot of water when I was breastfeeding. And I can tell almost immediately by the way my body feels. My neck starts hurting. I start having so much tension. I get headaches, all kind of things. I go drink a huge glass of water and all those things go away. So drink more water. Put that on your list to try. I think you would be surprised. Number 4, detox your home. We spend so much time in our homes, and if you're like me, you want your home to be a comforting and nourishing place to raise your family. A safe haven, you know. I just have this, I don't know. That's how I want my home to be. I want it to be a happy place to be, a safe place to be, where my family wants to be. And also a healthy place to be. And unfortunately, our homes can be really full of things that are not nourishing, that are quite the opposite. If you're using conventional cleaning products and, you know, air fresheners and conventional candles and all of those kind of things in your house, the laundry detergent and dryer sheets and fabric softeners and all that stuff. I do believe strongly about this, but all of that stuff is toxic and poisoning to your body, and it builds up and it's not good. So I would challenge you to start researching some of those ingredients in our homes that we use on a daily basis. I think that you would be really surprised to find that so many of them are hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors, carcinogenic, and a lot of other things. So start doing some research into that if you haven't already, if you're like, oh, that's really not that big of a deal. And you know, the thing is, oh, well, the FDA says that, or the whoever says that it's in safe amounts because it's small amounts. Well, the thing is, you're not having it just in that one little thing that you used one time. It's all of these products every single day of your life. And if you don't believe that builds up, you should research it. So, number 5, kind of along the previous thought, less processed food, more real food. And if you don't cook from scratch, learning to do so is very worth challenging yourself with. Processed and packaged foods are loaded with preservatives, dyes, chemicals, flavorings, tons of sodium, and all kinds of other things that are just really not good for you to have on a regular basis. That's not to say that we don't sometimes, but as a rule, you're so much healthier when you cook from scratch using real ingredients. And you can do it really simply. Like, you don't have to make these extravagant, 12 ingredient meals. You can do something as simple as, lettuce and taco meat and cheese and, toppings, and make a taco salad or something, so it doesn't have to be difficult, and it's so much yummier. So, and if time is one of the reasons that you find yourself like grabbing that box of whatever pre-made food or going to takeout, invest in a crock pot. There are so many delicious crock pot meals that you can put on to cook before you leave for work, and then when you get home, it's cooked and ready for you. All you have to do is a few little things to go with it. I'm going to put a link in the description box and blog posts for the crock pot that I recently got. Actually, it hasn't been recent. It's been probably about a year ago after my second child was born. I did so much research into crock pots and had a really hard time finding one because the reviews are so mixed. But this one, I really love it. I use it all the time and it works really well. So I'll put a link for it if you're interested. Number 6, plan and schedule fun days. I don't know, maybe most people aren't like this. Maybe I just tend to get stuck in a rut. But it's so easy to slip in the habit of working all the time and not scheduling fun days and having fun, especially if you live on a small homestead, you have kids, you have a side job. I mean, like, if you're like us, you know the list goes on and on and on and on. And you add things to the list quicker than you take things off of the list. So there is no such thing as finishing all your work so you can go do something fun. You have to be intentional about putting those things in your schedule, setting aside time for them, and making memories, because you only have this time. You don't get more. Time is the only thing on earth, the only commodity that once you spend it, it's gone and you can't get it back. So just remember that and think about the memories that you are missing out on and schedule some fun days. And if you need some ideas, go on a picnic, go fishing, go hiking, make a slip and slide in the summer, go to the zoo, the aquarium, get a badminton net, set up a volleyball net. There are so many things that you can do to have fun with your family, make memories, and not just stay in a working rut all the time. So, number 7, seriously cut back on sugar. And I'm not going to say don't eat sugar, because I still eat sugar. And, you know, I'm not going to completely quit. I know that about myself, but I do think that your health will be greatly benefited if you cut back on sugar. Sugar is linked to cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and lots of other health issues. And it's so easy to overconsume sugar, especially if you do eat a lot of those processed foods, because it's added to so much. We eat so much sugar without even realizing it. So, number 8, similar to number 1, is turn off the TV. It's just another form of entertainment that, while enjoyable, like I don't have anything against the TV in general, but it's so easily abused. You know, there are even people who have it on all the time. And if that's you, I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying you're missing out on so much quality time with the ones around you because the TV's on. So consider just turning the TV off. Have a night or two, that doesn't even get turned on. Just have family time instead of having the TV on. Play a game, do something fun. This is a big one for me. This is something that we started last year. And it's really, I think, one of the things that could have the biggest impact on your family if you don't already do this. Number 9 is bring back family meal times. If you only take away 1 or 2 things for your family to do in 2022, I would highly encourage you to make one of them be family meal time. When I was a kid, we did this growing up. We all sat at the table, we ate supper together, we talked, and then after supper, we did our own things, whatever. But sitting down as a family to share a meal is such a special and highly underrated thing in homes today. It leads to deeper connections and healthier family dynamic, more connection. I just really think that it is a wonderful thing, and I would really encourage you to give it a try. It's hard to do at the beginning, especially if you don't, like us, we're kind of non-scheduled people, so we didn't really have a set meal time, and it is kind of difficult to get in the habit of it, to set a meal time and have supper ready every night at the same time, get everyone sitting down at the table, yada yada. But it is one of the biggest blessings, and I'm so thankful that we stuck with it, and we all like it now. So I'd really encourage you to try that one. Number 10, don't wait until things are perfect. Whatever it is that you are putting off, don't wait until things are perfect, because so many times we find ourselves putting off things until we have more money, or we have a bigger house, or we're not so busy. There's so many excuses that you can think of, but stop the excuses and just do the thing. Whatever it is, just, you know, prepare yourself as good as you can, and then stop making excuses and just do it. 11, grow a garden. Now, this is something gardening I've really gotten into the past couple of years. And my wonderful patient husband, he just keeps adding me more garden space when I fill up what we have. And is seed buying addiction a thing? Because if it is, I think I have it. I have so many seeds. I just get like, I want to buy all the things. I want to grow all the food. I don't know why I have this problem, but I do. But grow a garden, even if it's just, you know, you can grow a garden even living in an apartment. If you have a tiny little balcony, put you some pots out there with a few tomatoes in them, some cucumbers. If you have a small subdivision backyard, put you in a little garden plot, a few raised beds, and grow some fresh food. It will be so beneficial for everything. Your mind, I really think, seriously, gardening is so therapeutic. I don't know what it is about it, but try growing a garden. You never know. You might end up being the crazy seed lady just like me. Number 12, ditch toxic candles and air fresheners. There are some studies talking about the toxins in our home. Candles and air fresheners are some of the worst ones. And there's so many people who like burn them all the time. And these air fresheners, they're really bad for your respiratory system. They affect things like asthma and allergies. I'll put some studies in the blog post. You can find it, the link to it in the description box. But just start looking into some of the toxins in your home. And if you want to have your house smelling wonderful, but you want to get rid of the toxins in the candles, get you some essential oils. Get a few diffusers, sit them around your house, fill them up with oils. You can come up with some really, really amazing scents. And the thing about oils is that they have health benefits instead of being detrimental to your health. So you can have your house smell wonderful while uplifting the moods of the people who live there and boosting your immune system. All kind of things that oils can help with while smelling delicious. Number 13 is declutter. This is another one that I'm really working on this year because I don't know how. You just find more and more and more stuff in your house. And I guess, you know, I think you have to be really intentional about constantly, ruthlessly decluttering because you bring so much stuff in without even realizing it. And if you don't take stuff out, it just piles and piles and piles. So this is something that I am working hard on in 2022 is decluttering. Because less stuff equals less stress, it's easier to clean, and less stress equals a happier home. So this is a big one for the happier home part. Number 14, get more sleep. And I don't know about some of you out there, but as a mom, I know sleep is one of the first things that suffers. Because here's the thing. If you're a stay-at-home mom especially, but if you work too, I mean, you're busy all day long, you're tending to your kids, you're doing your job, whatever you might be doing, and it's not your time. And then you finally put the kids to bed, and it's like, you have your time now. You can do whatever you want. And then you stay up for hours doing what you want because you didn't get to do it during the day. But here's the thing. Adequate sleep is so important. Sleep deprivation will leave you feeling sluggish, discouraged, unmotivated. Ask me how I know. It makes it hard to remember things and to think clearly. And I don't know about you, but lack of sleep really negatively affects my patience. And that's not a good thing. So start prioritizing sleep. And I think you're going to notice a big difference in the way you feel. I have started doing that, even if it means some things don't get done. Because I know for me, sleep, getting extra sleep, getting adequate sleep makes me feel better. It makes me be in a better mood. It makes me be a better mama, a better wife. So for me, sleep is something that's really, really important. And it also is when your body heals. So like, it's when your body, I don't know, it does all the important stuff when you sleep. You can look into that if you're interested, but sleep is really important. And speaking of essential oils, sleep is one of the main reasons that people sometimes get into using essential oils because they are so good for helping promote restful sleep. So if you're interested to know which oils are good for that, I'll put a link in the description box below for 2 of my favorite bundles of oils for sleep. And then also a link for my class on essential oils if you don't know anything about them and you want to know more. But they are really, really good for sleep. Number 15, take control of your thoughts. So this is a funny one. Have you ever known anyone who could convince themselves that they were on the verge of death by something they saw on the internet or heard on TV or something like that? The mind is such a powerful thing. It really is unbelievable. Our thoughts are so powerful that they directly influence and drive our feelings. So just think about it if you're feeling sad, it's because you're thinking sad thoughts. If you're feeling happy, it's because you're thinking happy thoughts. Your thoughts really can change your feelings. So, there's a whole lot to that, and a lot of it kind of sounds like really woo-woo when you start learning about it, but it really is pretty amazing. So this year, resolve not to be a slave to your thoughts, but instead to take every thought captive. The Bible talks about taking every thought captive, and it really is a powerful thing when you start realizing that you have the ability to guide your feelings, not be a slave to them. Number 16, learn something new. We live in one of the easiest times in history to learn things. I mean, you have this at the fingertips. Internet, you can look up, and they have internet classes, YouTube videos, online college courses, online classes and tutors, tutorials, endless blogs and websites. You can learn new things sitting on your couch in your pajamas. So learn something new, do something to benefit you. Whether it's a new skill like photography, sewing, mastering sourdough, learning a new language. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning French on my computer in my living room. How to play an instrument. Don't just wait until, someday I want to do that. Do it now. Just do it. 17, get out in the sunshine every day. This is one that if you're a homemaker, a stay-at-home mom, if you work in an office somewhere, it's so easy to not get out in the sunshine every day. You have all this work to do and you just put your head down and get your stuff done. And then it gets to the end of the day and you're like, I didn't go outside at all today. Make it a point to every day, even if it's just 15 or 20 minutes, go outside, soak in some sunshine, let the kids run around and work off some energy, work in your garden a little bit, whatever the case may be, and get some vitamin D. Vitamin D is really important, and the sun is an excellent way to get it, even in just 15 or 20 minutes a day. 18, figure out what's most important in this season and let go of the rest. This is a really hard one for me, and this is another one that I'm dealing with this year because the older I get, the more I realize that life is all about priorities. There are so many things to do, like I mentioned that list earlier, and you really have to prioritize what's important to you. Because I'm just going to say, sometimes it feels like you're that person in the circus who is balancing all those spinning plates everywhere. You got all these spinning plates you're balancing all over your body. Eventually you're going to get to the place where if you don't put one of the plates down, you're going to drop all of them and they're all going to go crashing to the floor. So it's not a bad thing to have to set aside things for a season. Even if it's something as simple as having perfectly folded clothes, or the yard not getting mowed every single week, but getting mowed every other week. Whatever it is, just know that it's okay to set some things aside, to let some things not be perfect. It's worth your sanity to let things not be perfect if you're going through one of those seasons in life like we are. Number 19 is buy the Dirty Dozen in organic. If the Dirty Dozen is a new phrase to you, what it is, it's a list put together by the Environmental Working Group of the 12 most heavily polluted produce. So the 12 things that if you're gonna eat something organic, the 12 things that you would wanna do it the most with. Now we grow a garden, but we don't grow everything, and we can't afford to buy all of our food organic. But with our garden and the eggs from our chickens, meat from our cows, and hopefully milk from our cow again once she has another calf. In addition to all that, I'm gonna be starting to buy the Dirty Dozen in organic because I do think that it's really, really important. And according to this French study, people who consume mostly organic food had a much lower risk of getting cancer. And a couple places I read talking about the study. I have a link to the study if you'd like to see it. But a couple of people, articles talking about the study said it was a 25% reduction in getting cancer of people who ate organic versus not eating organic. So that's a pretty big one, especially how much cancer plagues our country and probably I'm sure everywhere. But the Dirty Dozen, if you would like to know what they are strawberries, spinach, kale, collards, and mustard greens is number 3, 4 nectarines, apples, grapes, cherries, peaches, pears, bell and hot peppers, celery, and tomatoes. Those are the top 12. So as much as possible, I am going to be getting those in organic. And, you know, I'm sure I won't be able to all the time, but that's my goal for 2022. That's a big one for me this year. Number 20 goes hand in hand with the last point and a couple other points, is to eat as much fresh food as possible. That's one of my goals for this year. I don't know if you're like me, but with my garden, so many times I go out and I pick a beautiful basket of produce so that I can bring it and put it on my counter where it dies a very slow, sad death and rots on my counter until I throw it outside in the compost or feed it to the chickens. It's my goal this year not to do that. Even if I don't get hardly any of it preserved, my goal is to eat as much fresh food as possible. So if we have green beans coming out the garden, we're gonna eat green beans. If we have greens, we're gonna eat greens. If we have beets, we're gonna eat beets. If we have carrots, we're gonna eat carrots. So that's one of my goals, is to eat as much fresh food as possible and eat in-season food, even if I'm buying it somewhere, just fresh food, not processed or anything like that. So number 21, and this is another one that our kids are still a little young, but we're gonna start implementing. I'm actually really excited about this one, is a family game night. We have some friends who every Friday night, they stayed up late and they had a family game night. And we have been over there for a few of their family game nights, and it's so much fun. So that's something that I want to do for my family because it's so much fun. It's one of those memory things. Having fun together as a family, not working all the time, and making fun memories. So have a family game night. You can play card games, board games, you know, whatever the case may be. But it's so much fun. Y'all should try it. And the last one, 22, is to cultivate an attitude of thankfulness. There are always going to be plenty of things wrong in the world. That's never going to change. There's always going to be drama. There's always going to be issues. There's always going to be people getting sick. There's always going to be viruses. There's always going to be the flu. There's always going to be things wrong in the world. But the thing is, you know, no matter what's going on in the world, you have the power to be thankful for what you have, to be thankful for your family, to be thankful for your home. We have so many things to be thankful for that we take for granted. Running water, air conditioning, a washing machine, a refrigerator, you know. So I would challenge you in 2022 that no matter what is going on in the outside world, to within yourself, within your heart, in your mind, just to cultivate an attitude of thankfulness. And I think you'll notice that it has a huge impact on the whole rest of your life too, because when you're focusing on being thankful for what you have, it helps to take the focus off of what you don't have and off of the things that are wrong. So it also will help you, if you work on looking for the things that you're thankful for, to savor the season you're in, which can be really, really difficult. I know for me personally, we're in a what feels like a difficult season in life because we have little kids, which Life with little kids is always crazy. No matter how much you love your kids, no matter how sweet or adorable your kids are, life with babies is crazy. Waking up all during the night. I mean, my 1-year-old still wakes up every 2 hours around the clock. So life is difficult, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. And I really, every day, try to think about the things that I'm thankful for. Even in the middle of the night when I'm so exhausted and I want to be sleeping, I just look at him nursing back to sleep and think how thankful I am for him. Especially for him, if you don't know our story about Jamie, our youngest, he almost died, and it's been almost exactly a year ago. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the worst day of my life. And if you haven't seen the video explaining that, it's in my feed. I'll link to it below. But long story short, he almost died. He had to be rushed to the hospital. He had emergency brain surgery because he had a brain bleed. And it was the most awful thing that I've ever been through. We didn't think that we were going to be bringing him home with us from the hospital. I can talk about it now, but it was really bad for a long time. And tomorrow is the anniversary of that day. And a week later is the anniversary of the day that we brought him home from the hospital. And we're going to have a party that day. He's going to have 2 parties a year, his birthday and his coming home day. So, yeah, so savor the season you're in and cultivate a mindset and a heart of thankfulness. So those are my 2022 things, challenges, goals, and I hope that it inspires you to make some changes in your life, even if it's just one small thing. One small thing has the possibility to make huge changes for a family. In your life, in your home, especially, some of the things, if you don't sit down as a family and eat a meal, changing that one thing could have a huge impact on your family, on your togetherness, on your closeness. So I would really challenge you to seriously contemplate what you want with your life and with your family, and think about the things that have to happen to get there. Because, the thing is, everybody probably would say, they want their family to be closer. They want more peace in their life. They want, to be able to keep their house clean easier. They want their children to get along. Whatever the case may be. But the thing is, my dad loves sayings. The thing about it is, if you do the same thing you've always done, you're going to get the same thing you've always gotten. If you want a different result, you have to make changes. So that would be my challenge for you. If you want things to be different, if you want to have a happier and a healthier home, you have to be willing to make changes. Even though change is hard, it's so, so worth it. So I hope this will encourage you and challenge you, and I wish you all the best. See you in the next video.